Sunny Radio, where it's always in the 80s. Thank you so much for joining us on a Friday. At this time each week, we try to shine the sunny spotlight on the Sioux Empire United Way, and we talk to somebody that's involved in one way or another. And the guy we're talking to right now is very involved. We've got Jay Huizinga, and he is the campaign chair, and we've got him on the line right now. Jay, how are you, sir?
Doing well, John. Thank you. This is my final interview with you, and then I'll be turning over the campaign to a new campaign manager. So, well, I'm retiring after this interview.
Well, I feel very honored that I get to be the caboose. That's cool. Now, but I do want to say something while I've got you on the line. Thank you so much for everything you've done. It's been really cool. I remember the phone call. It seems like forever ago, but it was a little over a year ago, I suppose, when you and I talked and you kind of shared your vision for what you'd like to do during your time at the top there at the United Way. And I think that you should be very proud of all that you've gotten done. And it was really cool this last Tuesday, so a couple days ago in Sioux Falls, we were up there for the big event at the Holiday Inn, and you announced the amount that was raised, and you exceeded the goal. So congratulations and good job to you and the team of people that you had working with you. You did an amazing job.
Well, thank you. You know, it's as most people say, and it's really true, it's all the volunteers that we have, you know, both on the grants side of this, which is getting the amount of money that we need to raise put together. The community impact people do a lot of work starting about now for next year's campaign and setting that all up. And then, of course, we had about 1,000 volunteers, honestly, that went out and combed the city and the Sioux Empire and went after the campaign goal that we had, and we exceeded it. It was close, and it was tight right till the end, but the last few businesses brought us over the top, and we were able to raise around $10,370,000.
That is absolutely awesome. And over the course of the last year on this program, we've had a chance to talk to so many people that are impacted by those funds. So for those of you that haven't had a chance to hear those, we do have them saved as a podcast on our website, sunnyradio.com. There's a big thing in the middle that kind of shuffles through different images. You'll see one that has the United Way logo. If you click on that, it'll take you to all of the interviews we've done, and you can hear what a huge impact you have made with your contributions. So thank you for doing that, everybody. And that's just an amazing number. Now, when you look at the Sioux Empire United Way compared to United Ways elsewhere in the country, we're kind of a shining star, aren't we?
Well, that's really true. I mean, no community our size raises over $10 million. It's just completely unique to what's going on here. And, you know, that's a credit to the Sioux Empire United Way staff led by Jay Powell. And they do an amazing amount of work on behalf of the volunteers to get that ready. But it's a very organized group. But more importantly than that, John, it's a very dedicated group of staff, but also of volunteers that get this done. It's we're, as I understand it, in the country, we're number 2 per capita in the country in terms of giving. And
That's awesome.
West Palm Beach, Florida is number 1. So we're really proud of what we do.
That is fantastic. Now, when you put a goal like this together, how do you choose a goal? Is it based on what you've done in the past and new agencies that come to you, or how do you do that?
Well, it's really kind of a multifold purpose. The first thing that happens is the group of community impact volunteers get together with our partner agencies. You know, we have 41 agencies that do 87 funded programs. So those 41 agencies, and probably a few more, about this time are applying for grants that will be paid in 2018. So we really work ahead. And so those community impact volunteers right now will take those applications and look through them and start honing in on the amount of money that each of them needs. But that's not where it stops. What happens then is each of the agencies actually have to provide financial statements, what their plans are for the money, and then they meet and basically are interviewed by the community impact volunteers, who then look at the programs that they're going to provide and make sure it fits the mission of the United Way. Once that's done, they all get together and decide on a specific amount of money they're going to ask the board of directors for. They sit down with the campaign chair, and that next year that's Bob Timian from the Ramkota, and last year it was me, of course, and they sit down and ask if we think we can raise that kind of money. Now, what's happening while that's going on is we're out in the community talking to business leaders like yourself and asking if they think we can reach a specific goal. And we talk about economic climate, how their employment is, what their business plans are for the next year, and really get a real good feel from the community business leaders on where that's going to go and find out about the economic climate. Then we put the campaign and the community impact volunteers together and settle on a number. That number is decided, and it goes to the board of directors who finally approves it. So it's a multi-month long process. The campaign starts in September, but really that's going on all year long.
Speaking of numbers, 700 local companies participate in the campaign every year. Over 27,000 individuals contribute to the Sioux Empire United Way. Over 800 volunteers every year. I mean, those numbers are absolutely impressive, and it's with those kind of numbers that you can have a goal like that be achievable. Because if you were talking about, we're going to have 10 people working on this, there's no way that would be, I'm not going to say it wouldn't be possible, but boy, that would be really hard to do for those 10 people, wouldn't it?
Well, it really would. And I think the important thing to remember here is that, there's an online option for people to donate to the United Way. But really what happens is we have those 800 volunteers just fan out all over the city, and they meet with individual businesses and then also help those individuals with employee campaigns, because the corporate giving in this town is amazing, but this doesn't happen unless the employees at those businesses give. And so that's what's necessary for the 800 volunteers, because they're out there meeting with the employee campaign managers within the businesses. And that's really where the rubber hits the road on this thing.
Well, Jay, thank you again for all that you have done, and thank you for your dedication and devotion to the Sioux Empire United Way. So now that you're no longer campaign chair, do you get to take a year off, or do you have another role for next year already?
Well, they haven't asked me specifically for a role, but if they're listening to this interview, which I'm sure they are, I'll be getting a phone call shortly.
All right. Well, I'm sorry if I'm the one that brought that up for you.
No, that's fine. I've been a United Way volunteer for a number of years, and I love to help. So it's really true, close to my heart. That's for sure.
Well, I appreciate all that you've done, and again, all of the individuals who benefit from this fantastic organization, they also appreciate it. And the funny thing is, there are probably people who benefit from this that don't even know who to say thank you to, because they just know this comes from United Way. I don't know where this comes from, but it's been amazing over the last year to be able to shine the sunny spotlight on this organization and find out all the different elements that are involved to make this work. So it wouldn't be possible without all of the different individuals working together, and that is just a really cool thing. So again, thank you for being the person in charge that pulled it together this year, and I'm sure you're going to hand the reins off to somebody very capable that'll take care next year as well.
Well, thank you, John, and I appreciate what you've done to shine the spotlight on the United Way, because it did make a difference in our fundraising this year. People talked about it, so thank you to you as well.
It's been a whole lot of fun. Again, our guest today has been Jay Huizinga. He was for 2016, 2017. He was. Is that how you do it? 2016 or 2017? What year how would we say a campaign chair for what year?
I think I was the 2016 campaign chair, and now we're paying out the money in 2017.
Okay, well then, so that's what it is. Whatever that was, we'll have to figure that out. All we know is it's for the United Way. And thank you to each and every person that made a contribution to the Sioux Empire United Way. And if you're listening and you're saying, oh, doggone it, they didn't talk to us about it at our job, you know what? Even if your employer doesn't have that built in, you can still contribute. If you go to the website, they make it really easy. SEUW.org. That stands for Sioux Empire United Way. So again, SEUW.org. Thanks for listening to Sunny Radio.